Good morning, Macamillion. Good morning, positively empowered. It's not Brody. DJ Family Travel. Am I adding you DJ Family Travel from DJ Family Travel? Or are we switching over? Oh, good morning, Jay Black from LA. We were just talking about you. I'm going to add Miss Denisha, and then we're going to dive in because I have to take my youngest to school today. I'll say I'm gonna keep it brief. Wait, what is it? What's the lady's name? I love this lady. I think it's Lene. I'm gonna be brief. I'm black and I'm gonna be brief. What did she say? What's her line?
Who? Can I just tell you, I hadn't looked in the mirror. I I need to. I mean, honestly, y'all,
You know
I
what?
feel
We
like
need
I'm gonna start looking
makeovers.
in the mirror
We
before
need
like logging in.
we need makeovers.
No, but it's like I keep it way too real.
We both do because we don't care. We are
At least
such.
your hair is combed. Like
It
that's
is.
all I care about. Is like I should comb my hair.
It's not combed. It's like yeah. It's not combed. It's like a rat's nest. If I really turn around.
Okay. Well, right
Yeah.
now it looks good. It looks good.
Mm,
I might
thank
I
you.
might do something with this.
Yeah.
Skillet pointed out I'm getting grays.
No, I mean, I think it was you that I was talking about how, like, I forego stuff like this in service of
The work.
substance. But I aspire to do both.
So wait, Jay Black is here.
Jay Black is here. Let's dive in. So
Are we inviting him to join us? Because he had some
let's do
good
it. He can
questions
say
yesterday,
no.
right?
He can
All
say
right.
no, but let's meet Mr. Jay Black from LA. See if he'll
And while
pop
you do
on.
that, I'm gonna find a filter.
Here you
I'm
go.
not gonna do the silly filter. I promise.
Okay, because I can't.
You know what? I'm not gonna do a filter. I just feel
Okay.
like I need to comb my hair,
No, your
and
hair
I'm out
actually
and
looks.
about.
No, your hair has looked worse before.
Oh no, it's looked way worse.
Jay Black from
Okay, he's
LA.
coming in. Let's see who this Jay Black is. What up, Jay Black?
I wasn't trying to go live, but it's all good.
Where are you?
I'm finishing school drop offs. I got babies on the way,
Excellent.
but I'm gonna take them to Chick-fil-A first. Then
What area are you in?
Dad of the year.
I got a lot going on.
What area of LA are you in?
So right now, my two oldest go to Warren and Downey, so we just
Okay.
dropped them off.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Jay Black from LA, as we were logging off, threw us a lob of a question that we promised to address today. And that was, I'm not going to speak for you, Jay. Why don't you go ahead and share with us?
Well, so just a quick backdrop. I have five babies, five kids. I
Ooh.
call them my babies, but they're older. My former wife of 14 years, unfortunately passed away of breast cancer in 2024. So now I'm single dad in it.
Wait,
Um,
our condolences, our
thank you,
sincere
thank you.
condolences. I'm so sorry.
Condolences and like all the admiration and things that we can and positive whatever we can send your way. Five kids,
Yeah,
single dad.
yeah. So I got one
Hats
girl and four
off.
boys.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter is a junior in high school. I got a freshman in high school, one seventh grader, a fourth grader, and a first grader. So
Ooh wee.
yeah,
Your
all of the
hands are
things.
full.
Jay Black from
Absolutely.
LA. I'm gonna think about you when I'm stressing about my two teens.
Yeah. I got a
Just
friend that
know
I got a
it's
friend that calls me
temporary.
every now and then.
It's
Yeah,
temporary. They're gonna get bigger.
I, I, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna make sure to come back to this and look at it often. I got a couple friends that they call me every now and then just to do that same thing. Like, all right, let me check in because
Yeah.
they're stressing over their one or two, and they like, bro, what you got going on? So I can feel better about my situation. So, but
Aww.
just real quickly, the reason why I posed that question is because like my own personal experience, I did like private school, public school growing up, and I feel like it gave me a very well-rounded perspective of life. And I always teeter on that line with my kids of like, all right, my older ones, I feel like I found a great public school for them because it kind of functions as a private school. But for my younger ones, I'm very I'm leaning towards going, back to private school. But I just want to understand kind of the climate, especially because right now, like I have them in a school that's predominantly Latino, and a sprinkle of black. But I want them to, keep the cultural connection. But I just want to
Yeah.
be prepared for whatever the struggle may be for them in, various areas. So that's where my thoughts are.
Excellent. So your question to us yesterday was, what is the climate like
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
predominantly white institutions? So first of all, I'm going to say, I don't ever say this,
Hmm.
but you Jay Black from LA, you know my husband.
Hmm.
DM me. I want to have a conversation with you, not
Okay.
live.
Okay. Yeah.
um, Denisha knows I don't extend that.
Yeah.
Um, what is the climate like? I'm going to throw that question back to you. What is the climate in America? And there's your answer.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Hmm.
our schools are microcosms of America. We are foundationally rooted in the history of America,
Hmm.
and that has not really changed. And I'm talking very broadly. There are some schools that this does not apply for, but as a general notion, the institution pretty much mirrors America.
Hmm.
And so, to me, and I've said this before on here, it is less about the type of schooling you choose and more about how you are going to plan to show up in the school that you choose.
But I will say, like with the given climate, a lot of our schools have not shied away from the DEI
Hmm.
And or
initiatives.
they're realizing they better circle on back. Because also that is America, right? It's
Yeah.
ebbing and flowing.
Hmm.
And as much as I say, I try to give grace to the fact that school choice is so individualized and highly personal.
Hmm.
But clearly, I've opted for private school. I believe in private school.
Hmm.
And I will say this, I feel like most people are worried about the lack of representation, the lack of diversity, the cultural vacuum, all real concerns. But that does not mean that won't exist in public school. It doesn't. And I think most people assume that, no. It is
Yeah.
really it's school to school, area to area. Um, and you just have to do your diligence in talking to the school and you have to trust your gut with respect to the answers you're getting. Does it seem like you're getting like talking points and marketing spiel and spin? Or
Hmm.
does it genuinely feel like there's substance behind whatever they're saying? Because trust, when you are doing the touring and the circuiting and the exploration, schools are putting their best foot forward. I don't care what kind of school they are. They are. This is a
Yeah.
business. Like even public schools, it's a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
What
have to discern that.
What are some of your concerns?
Well, I don't want to start naming schools, but I'll say this. So right now, my daughter, she's currently at this is her third high school,
Mm.
and I started off at a charter school, and it presented all kind of challenges. Went to a public school, and I'm well connected, like because of my own matriculation through education and being in different networks and things like that. So I always have administrators and teachers, and my kids are athletes, so coaches that know
Hmm.
me, so they know they look out for my kids, but just the environments weren't conducive. So
Mm.
this last decision was between her current high school and a private school.
Hmm.
And we did a tour at the private school. It's an all girls school, like, and they were recruiting her for basketball. So, but she's like, I just don't want to hoop. I also want to, my social experience. And so,
Yes.
beyond the fact that it was just an all girls school, she's also like there was a couple of things on, like, maybe we went on 3 different tours, and on the second tour that was an extended shadow day for her. There was a couple of things that just happened, and she looked at me, and I was like, oh.
So
no matter what.
you wanted her to choose that, but she didn't want it.
Yeah, so I wanted her to be quite honest. Because they had been recruiting her since the eighth grade. I wanted her there for high school, but her
Mm.
mom, before her transition, she was just like, "I know you're gonna choose for the boys, but let her pick, let her choose, like just give her this."
Mm.
And so I was like, "All right, I acquiesce and let her have it." So, but I feel like I literally I told my daughter, I said I feel like the challenge that you would have experienced from a cultural standpoint would probably mirror some of the other challenges that you faced. And so it's just, both of them are, would have brought you to the point where you are now. It's just, it's just a different problem, but it's still a problem. And you still got to
Right.
mature, you still got to grow. And
Yeah.
I'm also concerned, or I like the fact that I feel like quite naturally being in private spaces sometimes, create a different network for you
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
speaks to the thing that you would like to do, career wise, or
Mhm.
it just expands your thought beyond, the certain environments. And so for me, I want that for my kids because that's what I was a benefit from. Like I know Dre because of that, right?
Yeah.
Like so for me, I know my boys, I already feel like I'm gonna kind of force that on them. But
Yeah.
my daughter was really kind of just that. All right, well, let me kind of stretch out and think differently. So that's why I want to like understand and hear from other parents, and I appreciate
Right.
y'all. Because I've been familiar with the work you guys are doing. Because a lot of my friends, they always invite me to the sneaker gala and all the things like that. But I'm like, well, my kids, they're in public school, so I just haven't locked in. But once I been on the fence with my sons, I was like, well, let me just start doing my research and listen to communities and hear things. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a tough one, honestly. Like there are pros and cons to
Yeah.
that
hmm
situation. It is wonderful that you're listening to her
hmm
and leaning into what she wants. I cannot help but to think of my own situation, which was a long time ago, but I was in a school and I socially was not happy. Academically, I was okay. But I wouldn't give myself permission to leave because I knew my parents wanted me to stay.
hmm
Yeah.
So I felt like now, in hindsight, I was kind of there because of them doing what they wanted me to do and have the courage to stand up and be like,
hmm
So there's a side of me that loves that she's owning that decision because here's the thing, it's her life.
yes,
And one way or another, it's almost like parenting. There're going to be some issues. Like you're going to mess it up.
yeah, yeah,
School's the same way.
yep, yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
at least if it's her owned choice,
hmm
at least she has no one to look to but herself in the mirror. Now, what
hmm
I think you could do is you could continue to tell her like this is really what I think and I hope you'll take it to heart.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate just even that whole process because it really helped me to see my daughter differently. Because I literally made her sit down with me and we wrote out the pros and cons
That's great.
and really talked through it. Because I said,
Yeah.
I promise your mom this is your decision to make,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to convince me, and we're gonna
Yeah.
have to, I might just veto as the president of this family. I might veto that
Right.
decision. But to hear her explanations and to even see, and then we actually did a compromise because she ended up playing on the AAU team that all girls school has. So she still made certain connections
Okay.
and and it was just based off the strength of me explaining to her that there's beauty in diversifying your network and getting people
Absolutely.
of different faces. So
And Denisha and I always point this out. Like, yes, the private school network is real. Like
mhm,
my kids have been in school with kids that we otherwise would not be hobnobbing with. That is certainly true.
mhm,
It's still not an indicator for how you're going to turn out. Like I know plenty
correct.
of people who were in public school in horrible public schools
hmm
and
hmm
they are like more than successful today.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
And
Yeah, and yeah,
and
I'm
vice
on that same
versa.
wavelength. hmm
Vice versa, there are kids who are in the private school, been in private school from day one, and because of their experience, they don't want to network or connect with those folks that they were in school with. I've
Yeah.
seen that
Yeah.
a lot, and I'm always like, man. that's the hard part, because your parents put you into these schools in hopes that you have these networks, so that it makes it a little easier when you're on the other side of it, when you're,
Hmm.
choosing a career. And some of the students have been like, I don't want anything to do with those folks.
So my
So
reunion is
it's,
coming up. My reunion is coming up, and people have been asking me if I'm going, and I have not been back since since I graduated maybe, and I very much am in that space of I have great
yeah.
friends. Some of my best friends are friends from sixth grade,
Hmm.
but going back to that institution where there were so
Yeah.
many issues for me, I fall in that, and I'm trying to work through that because I realize like, well, everyone has grown,
Hmm.
and ideally things would be different. But I realize I have shied away from going back there because of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah. So, well, I appreciate you guys sharing your perspectives, and I look forward to hearing more from the community and what you guys got going.
DM me please.
Yes, I will. I will.
All right, thank you for
All right.
joining us.
No, absolutely. Have a great day.
Okay, bye. Oh, I love him. Uh-oh, you're muted. There you are.
Am I? It's I was losing reception while you guys were chatting.
Yeah,
I'm sitting in front of Starbucks. Should I? Are we supposed to be boycotting Starbucks too?
probably. I don't know.
Well, my Nespresso, which I hope we're not boycotting them too, broke, and so I'm waiting on my new one. I got a replacement, and so I am gonna go to Starbucks today.
Excellent. Um,
You don't seem like you care.
well, I'm still digesting the conversation we just had. You just moved up right on. Like, I'm sitting outside of Starbucks. I'm like, can we talk about Jay
Yes.
Black from LA and his situation?
First of all, Jay Black from LA made some very strong points, and I mean, he's doing what all of us have done, where you really have to weigh the pros and the cons per child.
Yes, per child, that part. Yeah.
And I do love that he gave his daughter, because I do believe the experience for a girl is different for a boy. And
Yeah.
going to an art girls school, there's so many layers there. So I'm
I
glad
think
that he
it's
gave her
I
that
think it's so
option.
powerful that I mean both mom and dad gave her the voice, gave her voice.
Yeah.
Right. I often wonder, like, had I been given, because my parents were like, no, you can't leave. They pretty much were like, well, leave if you want. We can leave. But there was an undercurrent of, but it'll be the biggest mistake you ever make.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. But the fact that they're like, this is your decision,
Yeah.
but this is what I love it. I love it. But it's still hard. And that is
And the fact that she
often,
saw things, I was saying the fact that she saw things on her tour
yeah,
that made her question if this is where I want to be. I think that was the biggest gift that she received while touring,
yes.
because a lot of times, like you said, they're on their best behavior.
And you
So
don't
you don't
give
see it.
any, or you see it and you're like, oh, that's, you ignore the red flag because you want to ignore the red flag. I would
Right.
actually encourage anyone who sees anything or has any concerns to talk about it because
Yeah.
there is a space for, a bad tour guide or like there's stuff that happens. So sometimes there is an excuse that does make sense. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's just an excuse. um yeah.
But her
Well,
gut told her this is not
yeah.
the space for me. So,
We're coming up on that date where people find out.
so I thought it was this Friday, but it's next Friday.
I believe it is. I don't remember off the top of my head. It is right
Okay.
before spring break.
And then I'm also wondering if maybe, because the person who told me it was this
And that's here in
Friday,
LA. That's not everywhere.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
some of this, I a friend of, not a friend, one of our associates who will become a friend in North Carolina was
Oh,
saying that
she's a
those
friend.
schools, the newer one,
Mm,
no, the other two are friends, was sharing that some of her friends found out they got into certain schools
yeah.
this
So
week.
we're talking about when sorry, Macamillion's like, find out what? Yeah. Thank you, Macamillion, because we have to realize that the rest of the world is not in our head and they don't understand Lisa Denisha code speak.
Right. And I was going to say, and we have to realize that it's not just the two of us talking. Because
Right.
a lot of times we're on this, I truly forget that
Yeah.
people
So
are
same.
joining us. Go ahead.
Well,
Go
all
ahead and
four of
share what we're
us.
talking about.
Yeah. But we're talking about admissions notifications. So they're coming out soon here in LA. So people will find out what schools they got into, and then they have about a week to decide which school they want to enroll in. And then on April 12th, Private School Village has our annual parent to parent mix and mingle. And it is an early opportunity for newly enrolled families to connect with current families virtually in just kind of a quick celebratory way. We're going to have activist Brittany Packneck Cunningham on as our speaker. If you don't know who she is, you need to be following her on Instagram because she is the truth. And it's just going to be a fun celebratory few hours. I think it's our fourth or fifth time doing it. We've done it for a while. So that is coming up, and now that it is 8:55, I'm going to pivot and say, "Rise and grind, y'all."
Hey, I have a question. It has nothing to do with anything
I was
that we're
logging
talking
off,
about. Oh wait, no, I want to know. Jasmine Crockett, do we know what's going on with that?
girl. I haven't been up long enough this morning. She conceded. She conceded to
She
whoever.
did. Because
Well,
when I was
if
going to bed, they
if
were
what I saw,
showing.
no. If what I saw on
Okay.
Instagram, I don't even know if the source I saw it. I don't. This is early morning scroll, so I think.
Okay. I'm so sad. They were saying like there was some issue in Dallas with the polls. They were supposed to close at 9 and then folks were turned away at 7 or something like that. You don't know? All right. Oh well.
All right, I gotta go take my rugrat to school. Rise and
You sure
grind, y'all.
do.
Yep.
Peace
Bye.
out.